rejuvenated, fresh, and ready to go. We are going to double up on the muscles today and get twice the knowledge in our head. All right? We are going to start with some muscles that are lesser known, and then to ones that I think everybody knows the name for, maybe because it's funny to them, but who knows? We'll find out. All right? We're going to start with a muscle that is responsible for twisting our torso. All right. The name of the muscle here is the external obliques. All right, external obliques. Oblique is a word that in any realm means the side. All right, so the side of our body, and the external oblique, that means external all the way to the side. On the front side is the external obliques. All right, you have your abs in the middle. All right, we learned about our abs that help us bend over, bend our spinal cord. The erector spinae help us stand straight up. All right, one of the other major muscles, the last major muscle of our core group, is the external obliques, and that helps us not go forward or backwards, but side to side. All right, it's a fairly easy muscle to work, but you have to make sure that you put the intensity and effort into it. The simplest way to work your external obliques is by grabbing anything that you can hold in your hands or place across your back. And the example of a broomstick would work, a dowel pin. For your viewing pleasure, we have our trusty dowel pin here. It's our plastic dowel pin, PVC pipe, right? What you would do is simply rest it on your neck, have your hands as far out on the end of it as you can go. You want to have your feet pointed straight in front of you. And then all you simply do is stand as upright and tall as you possibly can and turn your body to side as far as you can go in each direction. So make sure you keep your legs and your feet straight, and you're just going to turn your body as far as you can go to the side. And then bring it back all the way to the other side. And go back and forth as far as you can go. Now, the stronger you get, the more you'll need to increase some resistance. And resistance can be found by weights. Resistance can be found by medicine balls. Resistance can be found by a number of things. But one thing that you can do is, if you have a medicine ball at home,
get you one?
Sure. If you have a medicine ball at home, what you can do is turn to the side with a heavy weight, and the more weight that you use, the more resistance you'll have to use in your obliques to bring it back towards center. Also, the more you'll have to stabilize it, because it has weight, it's going to pull you down. The more you have to stabilize your arms as you turn side to side. All right? You can also, if you have a safe place in your home to do such, you can take the medicine ball and throw it sideways against the wall. Make sure you get both sides. Now this one is not very heavy, but if you get a 10-pounder and you're throwing using that sideways motion, you're definitely going to feel it right in your external obliques. So,
No, you do it that hard.
So, let's review one time. We learned last week about our rectus abdominis, aka our abs. All right, the abs are protective area for our vital organs, also facilitate our spinal cord in bending forward. Our external obliques are on the side. Our rector spinae are on the back. So we bent over using our abs. We're going to stand straight up using our rector spinae. And we're going to use our external obliques to turn side to side. So, core consists of, generally, there's smaller muscles that are involved, but the major muscle groups, abdominals, erector spinae, and your external obliques. If you get those strong, you have a nice strong core and be able to function in a number of exercises. We're going to move down to the lower half of our body today for our second group of muscles. And our second group of muscles is one that you all may have heard the name of, but you don't know the function, and we're going to fill you in. This one is, as Mr. Mitchell says,
The Roman soldier.
the Roman soldier. Captain Gluteus C. Maximus. Gluteus Maximus is a name of a muscle that many of you, including these guys, are sitting on right now. All right? It's your backside. All right? Your buttocks, the actual function of your buttocks is to extend your hips. Remember, we have bend or flex. That means bend or flex. All right? Bending, flexing the arm. All right? Extending means to straighten. So straightening the hips, that's extending the hips. All right? We have hip flexors and hip extenders. And the gluteus maximus is the most powerful hip extender. All right? You can work that a number of ways. You can work it through a bridge where you lay on the ground and you extend your hips towards the sky. You can work it in what I think is the best exercise that I'm going to show you. And we'll also work our two next muscles next week, the squat. The squat is one of the primary movements for human beings. When you are born, all right, you can't walk because you don't have the strength yet. But then you start to crawl, and then you start to toddle. And then as soon as you can walk, all right, the body develops a squat pattern. Many of you guys have heard this rap before if you're in 8th grade because I tell it every year. But for my 7th graders, if you have a baby brother or a baby sister or a baby cousin, or you've seen any baby, when they walk, all right, and they drop something or they pick a toy off the ground, they do not walk and bend forward. The reason being, their head's too big. So, seriously, More Henry is laughing when he's serious. All right? You got the weight of your head. The baby's balance is not there yet, so if they bend over, they fall onto their head. But they know this, so the natural movement is they walk right over to whatever the item is that they want to pick up, literally directly over it, bend down, squat, and pick it up. That's just what they do. That's a natural thing. Many cultures do not have chairs and benches and tables like we do. And what they do is when they eat dinner, they squat on a rug together and eat. Or if they need to use the restroom, they squat in that position. It's a natural human function across the world. The thing is, we don't get to use it very often unless you're working out, because most places in America, if I want to take a rest, I just sit in a chair. But squatting is very similar to that motion. I'm going to show you just how right now. Okay? Remember, we'll learn two more muscles that also get worked in the squat, but the primary one we're focusing on right now is the gluteus maximus. And the gluteus maximus means it is a muscle that extends your hips. And where are your hips? Right where your belt line is. So, if you take your belt line, you know exactly where your belt is, all right? And you squat down, you want to make sure your feet are shoulder width apart, maybe slightly wider. For some of you, be slightly more narrow. Go where it's comfortable for you. You have your toes pointed slightly outwards, all right? And then you're going to stand with your spinal cord erect in a neutral position. You're going to start, there's my hips, what's called just breaking the hips on the squat. And you're going to squat down as low as you can go. Now some of you guys might be able to squat to where you get all the way down to where your gluteus maximus can hit the back of your ankles. But if you're an American like myself that hasn't had a lot of practice doing so, or you've been sitting in a lot of chairs due to our cultural difference, you have tight hip flexors and tight erectors, so you can't squat that low. But you want to make sure that you take your belt line, all right? You're going to break at the hips, that just means it's loose, all right? And you're going to sit like you're sitting in a chair. Okay? When you sit in a chair, you don't do a knee bend and try to sit in a chair. You stick your gluteus maximus back and take a seat. Right? The squat is the same motion, except for get that chair out of there. So here's my belt line, my hips. I'd like my hips to be even with my knees at the bottom of the squat. If you can go lower, go lower. That means you have good flexibility. But you want to at least have your hips even with your knees. Now, it means you come down, all right? If you stop there and come back up, I didn't go down low enough, all right? I want to stick my hips back, just like I'm trying to sit in a chair, bring my body down, boom, all the way down, so my belt line and my knees are even, and come straight back up.
Almost like a right angle. Almost like a right angle with those legs.
Almost like a right angle. So we come down, boom, up. And you can do 10 nice and easy. 1, 2, 3, 10. Fooled you.
Now that was too easy. Wouldn't weights help Mr. Shoemake doing squats?
Beautiful point. We're working with our body, all right? Some of us are stronger than others. Just the natural way things flow. If you get to a point where 10, 15, 20 squats with your body weight is easy, then you start adding weight slowly, slowly, but surely. Right? Your form is important. If we were in the weight room, you would take the bar from the weight and just do the same motion. All right? Come down and all the way up. Now, here is the deal. People can squat a lot of weight, thousands of pounds. Matter of fact, the world record, I think, right now is 1,080 pounds. That's like 3 motorcycles or half of a car, right? That's ridiculous. Don't aim for that right now. Right now, all you want to do is get the form down. And if you feel comfortable with the form, get the form down with the bar on your back. And then slowly through what? Sassoy?
Small incremental steps of
Improvement. Add the smallest amount of weight you can each week. So if you get to a bar when you get to the weight room, and you can do the bar which weighs 45 pounds, you can do that 10 times, just add a 2.5 on the very next time you work out. Either side, 2.5 on this side, on that side, will be 5 pounds. Now you got 50 pounds. And then the next time, add 2.5 pounds more on each side. So then you have 55, and so on. And that's how you slowly, slowly, but surely build your weight up. So, one more time, gluteus maximus, all right? It's your buttocks, hip extenders, all right? You can work it in a bridge where you lay down and extend your hips toward the sky, or from my favorite, the squat.
Now, Mr. Boring One,
yeah.
what about medicine balls? Can you squat with a medicine ball, do you think?
Great point, Mr. Mitchell. If you don't have weights or a bar, you could take a medicine ball. Now, you could have weighted medicine balls, but start low, start light. So you can do a squat like this. Just hold it out like this, and boom. I'll show you from a different angle. Boom. One more time. Boom. So, Mr. Mitchell, thanks. That's a great idea to do with the medicine ball.
Yeah, because we have medicine balls in the weight room. We have
Yes,
all
we do.
different weights, too. And it's a little different trying to hold it like that as to having a bar on your trapezius.
Absolutely. You know, that reminds me of a question I want to ask you guys. It reminds me of a question of indoor, outdoor, because you can do squats in and outdoor. You can do them at a park, inside a weight room.
Absolutely.
In that vein, along those lines, here's a question for you guys. What is your favorite indoor and outdoor activity? Mr. Mitchell, what would you say?
Indoor? I'd say cooking. I like to cook. I like to eat. But I really like to cook and eat. And nobody cooks better than me. I love the way I cook. I love the way I make sauces. I love the way I do all kinds of pastas and things like that. So I think cooking because I really enjoy, eating healthy. And the things that I make up, I try and, watch my sugars and everything else like that, and I try and eat healthy. But they always come out, I think, and the people that I enjoy eating with think, they come out really, really well. So for indoors, I'd say cooking.
How about outdoor?
Outdoors, I'm a golfer.
Golf.
I love golf. I'll play golf anywhere, any state, anywhere, in any weather. I love golfing. So for me, you know, just getting out, golf is a very pastoral game. Pastoral meaning it's all green and it's all, the lawns are all clipped and there's trees. A lot of golf courses have deer and lakes and things like that. And you're out there for like 5 hours. And it's a very, very interesting game because it's you against the course. There's nobody else involved. There's only one person you can blame. You can only blame yourself if you don't play well that day. You have nobody else to blame. And that's a sport that's very, very interesting where you don't have to worry about, you know, pointing a finger at somebody else and saying you lost because of so-and-so. Your score, which you keep, it could be really, really good one day, and then you just have another day where you just don't play that well for whatever reason, you know, and then you just go out there the next day and then you play well again, and then you don't play well for whatever reason. Each day is different depending upon which golf course you play. So I find golf very, very interesting.
How about you, Mr. Shoemake?
You go indoor first?
Indoor then outdoor.
Indoor than outdoor. Well, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've been indoors for the better part of 6 months.
Yeah, you can say that again.
So right about now, only thing I want to do is go from indoors to outdoors. But I love to eat. I like to cook. I love to eat. So eating is a great thing. But that's Mr. Mitchell's. Even though I love to eat, I would say probably being indoors, the best thing that I like to do is to be in the music studio, playing either the piano or playing the guitar and recording music. And listening to music too, but you listen to music anyway. But recording inside the studio is just, I'm at a happy place when I'm doing that.
You know, Mr. Shoemake, you and I got to cook together sometime.
We
Absolutely.
And I can eat it. All goes right here.
He doesn't cook very much. He's a professional eater.
But he can.
I am a professional eater. I can do that.
You know Joey Chestnut, but you can.
Eating's good though. Eating burns. Eating puts calories in you, then you burn them working out. One way you can do that is a squat. And then I would say for indoor, actually, Mr. Shoemake, did you go outdoor?
He can go outdoor.
Give us your outdoor.
He's ready to skip me. He doesn't like me. So, here's the deal. For outdoor, my favorite thing in the world, probably right this moment, I really like the adrenaline from going fast, and I really like to be in a water environment. So, one thing that just makes me smile from ear to ear is being on a nice, fast, sit-down jet ski and going across a big, giant lake or body of water as fast as you can, just zooming across, hitting some waves and some weight, and just going back and forth. I like motorcycles too, but falling in water is a little bit more comfortable than falling on the cement. So I would say right now, I think riding a nice jet ski would be my answer.
There you go.
Great.
Good one.
Well, for me, my favorite indoor would be just watching a movie. After a long day, being at home, turning the lights off, put the movie on. Could be Netflix, it could be the old DVD movie. We still do that every once in a while.
I got a feeling it's going to be Rocky.
Rocky 1 or 2. You still got to watch the end of Rocky 2. And my favorite outdoor activity would most likely be taking a walk with my wife. We just love walking together, talking together, catching up on each other's day. It's all about building healthy relationships. So we spend time talking, and you know, we'll walk and we'll just start reminiscing, and we'll talk about the good old days and think about what's going on now.
Roll call!
Woo!
Wow.
What's going on here? What are we even doing here?
Well, we're building healthy relationships.
And what's the purpose of Bret Hart?
HR squared.
Honesty,
respect, responsibility.
Ladies and gentlemen, good to have you back. Getting ready to go into our muscle exam, which will be within the next week or so. So make sure you're getting this knowledge in your brain. We hope you put it in there not only for a grade. We don't care about the grades. We want you to put it in there so you know for life, have this knowledge in there. All right? Always try to be a little bit better today than you were yesterday, and keep on pushing. Push on 3. 1, 2, 3.